This is a cheap child's keyboard. It probably cost less than $20 when it was brand new, I would guess. I got it at a thrift store for, as you can see here, $2.99. Probably about $3.25 after tax. This thing is, in and of itself, unremarkable. It is cheap. It's got some little drum sounds on it. However, what is remarkable about this is that I changed it. I have gone inside this, and the sounds you've actually been hearing thus far are not the sounds it automatically makes. Those are closer, but that is definitely not. So why am I showing you this? The reason I'm showing you this is because I'm starting a new project and I want your help. I want you to show me your stuff. Now, it'd be simple enough to say, hey, bring me a cool thing you have and let's play show and tell. But what I want is, like this is to me, for you to show me your things that have significance to you. Something that maybe is a symbol to you. For me, this, one of my, I think it's my 5th or 6th circuit bending project. It's actually held up better than a lot of the other ones have. It didn't do quite as much, not as many things to blow out or burn or whatever like a lot of the other ones I've had. Go inside and mess with the circuits and it does things that it's not supposed to do. Find exploits, weaknesses, and bring them out. It's kind of the thing that I like about circuit bending though, is you find a flaw, something that maybe was a cut corner and how this is manufactured or how it was designed. Find this little thing and you just magnify it. You blow it up to weird, bizarre things. See how strange it gets whenever you pull out. And I think that that's, there's something very representative about that and a lot of the ways that I look at things. That we can look at these things as little itty bitty quirks as maybe part of a bigger picture and say, oh, well, this little tiny thing's not that big of a deal. It's like, but you extrapolate it, you blow it up, you magnify it, it becomes a massive problem. It makes me off the top of my head think of the instance of maybe a young black person being shot by the police. Happens one time in a year, bad news, but ultimately in the grand scheme of 300 million some odd people in the country, not that big of a deal. When it happens weekly, much bigger problem. Now, that's obviously a much heavier connotation for that concept than fucking with keyboards is. But I think that's kind of the way that I like to look at things. I like to look at things and that, get down here in this nitty gritty and take this thing apart and pick little pieces out and replace things and rearrange things and then pull back from it and say, well, okay, it was a cheap child's keyboard that you could buy anywhere. I looked this one up. It's actually made in China. I don't even know if they're for sale here, maybe outside of, cheaper toy shops. Dollar General, maybe stuff like that. But now it is the only one. There's not another keyboard exactly like this on the planet. I took this tiny little flaw in it, which actually, if I remember right, was that the audio wiring ran outside of the power. I can't remember. There was a weird relay where the circuitry that modeled the audio and everything ran to the power switch, and then the audio ran off the power switch, I think, and I was able to kind of exploit that and blow it up and examine it in a different way and make it a completely different tool than it was before. Again, the reason I bring all this up is I want to see what you have. Maybe you got some weird thing that you made or repurposed, or maybe you've got something that maybe hasn't been repurposed, but maybe they did make a million of, but has some great value to you, that is just, it's got some great history, or maybe it's the first thing you and your significant other ever bought together. Maybe it's something from your parents or a grandparent or a stranger even. For Pete's sake, it could be anybody. There are things like that though that extend beyond that surface level identifiers. The way that I dress, or the way that the kind of stickers I put on my car would tell people one thing, but when I talk about something, when I take something of mine and share that intimate connection with it, it means something else, not only to me then, because I know what this means to me, but now it means something to you. I hope that people are willing to share things with me. I hope that you maybe, are willing to let me in a little bit, see a little bit more about, it does that whenever it turns itself off, see maybe a little bit more about, what's lying underneath, what maybe about you and your thing that is different from the millions of others like them. Kind of maybe escape from some of the commodification of ourselves and the things we own and the things we use and the marketing of our identities, and kind of get more into what things on our personal levels that we don't share are in the very things that we own, the things that we love or hate, or fear, or just have because we just can't get rid of, maybe. If you're interested in working with me on this project, it would first of all be greatly appreciated. Right now I'm limited. I can't really go that far. I'm poor. But if you're willing to work with me, I'm going to include an email address that you can reach me at this video, or you can always leave a comment for me. Let me know, like, hey, I've got an hour and I want to talk about this thing. We'll work it out. We'll get some time together. We'll sort it out. We'll go into it as much as we can. If you've got, any amount of time, anything you want to show, anything you want to share, do it. Until I get people to help me with this, which I understand is probably going to take a while, I'll probably just keep doing updates like this, where I'll talk about a thing that I own and what it is to me beyond its surface objectness, I guess. I don't think that's a word. If you have any questions or any queries, or just want to yell strange things at me via the internet, feel free, drop me a line and let's start talking. That was an awful ending.